All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahusha, Bahashim Rakakudash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakayer from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. Tonight's lesson is going to be entitled, The Lord is Expediting the Process of Prophecy. All right, and as you can see, the Lord has gotten the ball rolling on a lot of end-time prophecy, namely the mark of the beast being implemented within society, as spoken about in Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right, and through the gradual implementation of AI, CBDCs, implantables, 15-minute cities, and Neuralink, all right, we're starting to see that vision that was for an appointed time spoken about in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, starting to speak. All right, and it's starting to speak more frequently than times past, which lets us know what? That the time is short, man. All right, the time is short, and the Lord is making a speedy work of this devil's kingdom. The Lord is making a short work of this devil's kingdom, man. You know, and this is just a sign of the times. You know, and this is what we've been commissioned to look out for, because this marks the end of this empire, all right, and the beginning of the Lord's reign. All right, which we've been looking forward to for generations, you know, but this is the end, and we're starting to witness the end, all right, through the implementation of this mark, man. All right, and I had this article I wanted to get into, as well as a video, a little bit of a video I want to play. All right, Lord willing, this is edifying unto you elect. All right, the brother Isaiah sent this article in the chat yesterday. All right, and it's going into the first female Neuralink brain chip recipient. All right. And we're coming into that time where Esau is getting ready to integrate his technology within the people's biology. All right. And he's getting ready to come with that chip, you know, to mark whether or not you're going to serve him or you're going to serve the Lord. All right. That great temptation, that hour of temptation, that great trial period is upon us. All right. It's speedily approaching. And these are the things, you know, that we should be watching out for. All right, these are the things that are taking precedent in the earth. You know, not these different silly debates, these silly arguments, you know, these silly back and forths. All right, this is what's taking precedent in the earth. Prophecy. All right, this is the focal point. You know, so without further ado, we're going to get into this. And then we're going to get a couple of minutes of that video. You know, once again, Lord, once it's edifying unto you elect. But I want to start off here, right? It just popped into my spirit. This is Matthew 24 and verse 22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right. And right now, the Lord is shortening the days for his elect's sake. All right. The Lord is working on our behalf. The Lord willing will elect, you know, but the Lord is working on our behalf. You know, our prayers and our supplications aren't falling on deaf ears. The Lord is moving. As brothers cry out, the Lord moves, man. And we're witnesses of that in real time. In real time, the Lord is moving quick. Quick. It was just 2020 when the whole world seemingly started to fall apart. And now we're this far along, you know, into end time prophecy, to where now this digital society is a closer reality than it's ever been. The mark is a closer reality than it's ever been. And we understand that once that mark is implemented, then comes World War III, and then comes Yahweh Shai. So once this is implemented, brothers, we on the way out. We on the way out, like the elders apostles say all the time, man. All right, once this prophecy gets rolling, you look up. Look up. Because it's that time. You know, but getting into this article is from the Times of India, and it's entitled, Who is Audrey Cruz? Paralyzed woman writes her name after 20 years using Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip. All right, and this is a part of the miracles that this devil is coming with that is going to deceive the majority of people into receiving that mark. You know, when we go into Revelation, the 13th chapter, which is a chapter that's being frequently visited here in these latter days, All right, we go to the 14th verse. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. All right, and alongside the ability to rain fire on the earth, through these different atomic bombs and missiles, all right, he now can seemingly cure critical diseases, and life-threatening conditions like blindness, lameness, the inability to walk, the inability to function, neurological diseases. All right, this devil seemingly has the ability to cure these different things, which goes into these miracles that he's able to perform in the sight of the beast that are going to deceive the majority of people on earth into receiving that mark. Because when people see this, they see a way out. When people see this, they see God, or the new God, which is technology, or Esau Edom. They see salvation. They see peace. But us who are in the know, us who are of the light, we understand this for what it is, all right, which is yet another device of the devil, which is why Satan can't get an advantage of us, because we're not ignorant of his devices. We understand that the Lord gave this devil the power to do these so-called miracles, to lead astray those who are meant to be led astray. But we understand the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, to be the omnipotent and the omnipresent, to be the true, only living God. But it goes in and says, who is Audrey Cruz? Paralyzed woman writes her name after 20 years using Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip. It says, in a groundbreaking medical and technological milestone, Audrey Cruz, a woman paralyzed for 20 years, has become the first Neuralink patient to publicly demonstrate thought-based computer control with the help of brain chip developed by Elon Musk's Neuralink. Cruz successfully moved a digital cursor and signed her name on a computer screen using nothing but her thoughts. Her achievement, revealed through a viral social media post, not only showcases Neuralink's cutting-edge brain-computer interface, BCI technology, but also offers a glimpse into a future where individuals with paralysis may regain independence in ways previously unimaginable. All right, and this is a part of this devil showing himself that he is God, like it says in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. All right, 2 Thessalonians is really starting to play out in a major way. All right, let me get it. All right, because let me see. 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. All right, 2 Thessalonians is starting to play out in a very major way. All right, because now we're in that time of the man of sin, the son of perdition, being revealed. And alongside that revealing, the Lord is starting to cast him down with the spirit of his mouth, which is his prophets. All right, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right, and this is how this devil is going about to establish his Godhead, all right, through the implementation of his technology, so that he can become omnipresent and omnipotent like the Heavenly Father. So he can have access and power over your life, over what you buy and what you sell, over what you and regulate, all manner of life. All right, this is what he's doing, and this is what he's being revealed to be doing here in these latter days. All right, it says, who oppose it and exalt himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. It says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. All right, and now he's starting to be revealed in his time. All right, to be that man of sin and that son of perdition. And that revealing has come through the inquisition that the Lord has caused his prophets, all right, to go into, of the ungodly, of the devices of the ungodly, spoken about in Wisdom of Solomon, the 1st chapter. All right, now inquisition is being made into the counsels of the ungodly. And now all of those counsels are being brought to the light. All right, all of those wicked devices and counsels that Esau's had for generations to prop himself up as God in the earth are being brought to the light. You just had this WEF counsel, with this guy Noah Harari, all right, which came out of his mouth saying that there is no more need for a God. They can create their own rain and resources, and there's no more need to fear a so-called God. And we see that thought process playing out in the planet Earth, especially with this AI technology. All right, but it says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right, and now that wicked is being revealed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which is his prophets. Going back, it says, hold on. It says, RG Crew's achievement is more than a technological demonstration. It is a symbol of hope for millions living with paralysis. All right, and instead of the hope coming from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, all right, the people are now looking for hope toward Esau, Edom. People are looking toward the devil for hope here in these other days, which is why the majority of them are going to take that mark, because they're being deceived into thinking that this man is God, that he has some capability above the Heavenly Father, which he doesn't. He's the basest man on the planet Earth. But the people are being deceived through these different, wicked devices and schemes into thinking that this guy is some benevolent character, which is going to be to their downfall ultimately. But I had this video from AI in context. Now, I'm just going to play a couple of minutes of this video. The whole video was pretty decent. But it's going into, the plan that these devils have for super intelligence spanning out to 2027. Going into how they plan on basically, having the Internet of Things being established by 2027. Excuse me. Which is why we're starting to see the gradual rollout of these CBDCs, AI technology, implantables in 15-minute cities. All right, because this is a part of their enterprise. And check this out.
The impact of superhuman AI over the next decade will exceed that of the Industrial Revolution. That's the opening claim of AI 2020. It is a thoroughly researched report from the thoroughly researchers led by Dana. In 2021, over a year before ChatGPT was released, he predicted the rise of
The impact of superhuman AI over the next decade will exceed that of the Industrial Revolution. That is the opening claim of AI 2027. It is a thoroughly researched report from a thoroughly impressive group of researchers, led by Daniel Coccatello. In 2021, over a year before ChatGPT was released, he predicted the rise of chatbots, $100 million training runs, sweeping AI chip export controls, chain of thought reasoning. He is known for being very early and very right about what's happening next in AI.
So when Daniel sat down to game out a month-by-month prediction of the next few years in AI progress, the world sat up and listened. From politicians in Washington
I'm worried about this stuff. I actually read the paper of the guy that you had on.
To the world's most cited computer scientist, the godfather of AI. What is so exciting and terrifying about reading this document is that it's not
Guy that you had on.
to the world's most cited computer scientist, the godfather of AI. What is so exciting and terrifying about reading this document is that it's not just a research report. They chose to write their prediction as a narrative to give a concrete and vivid idea of what it might feel like to live through rapidly increasing AI progress.
and, spoiler, it predicts the extinction of the human race. Unless we make different choices.
The AI 2027 scenario starts in summer 2025, which happens to be when we're filming this video. So why don't we take stock of where things are at in the real world and then jump over to the scenarios timeline. Right now, it might feel like everyone, including your grandma, is selling an AI-powered something.
Go pro with the new Oral-B Genius AI.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular.
But most of that is actually tool AI, just narrow products designed to do what Google Maps or calculators did in the past, help human consumers and workers do their thing. The holy grail of AI is artificial general intelligence.
AGI.
AGI, artificial general intelligence,
is a system that can exhibit all the cognitive capabilities humans can.
Creating a computer system that itself is a worker, that's so flexible and capable we can communicate with it in natural language and hire it to do work for us, just like we would a human. And there are actually surprisingly few serious players in the race to build AGI. Most notably, there's Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google DeepMind, all in the English-speaking world, though China and DeepSeek recently turned heads in January with a surprisingly advanced and efficient model. Why so few companies? Well, for several years now, there's basically been one recipe for training up an advanced cutting-edge AI, and it has some pricey ingredients. For example, you need about 10% of the world's supply of the most advanced computer chips. Once you have that, the formula is basically just throw more data and compute at the same basic software design that we've been using since 2017 at the frontier of AI, the transformer. That's what the T in GPT stands for. To give you an idea of just how much hardware is the name of the game right now, this represents the total computing power, or compute, used to train GPT-3 in 2020. It's the AI that would eventually power the first version of ChatGPT. You probably know how that went.
ChatGPT is the fastest growing user-based platform in history. 100 million users on ChatGPT in 2 months.
And this is the total compute used to train GPT-4 in 2023. The lesson people have taken away is pretty simple. Bigger is better, and much bigger is much better.
You have all these trends. You have trends in revenue going up, trends in compute going up, trends on various benchmarks going up. How does it all come together? What does the future actually look like? Questions like how do these different factors interact? It seems plausible that when the benchmark scores are so high, then there should be crazy effects on, jobs, for example.
And that would no more work for Egypt. All right, we're living in that time now. All right, and this is happening through the rollout of AI. All right, and essentially what this devil is trying to do is eliminate the need, all right, for you Jakes, really, because the battle, the feud goes back to Jacob and Esau. All right, that same feud is what's going on in the planet Earth today. That's what's shaping the world as we know it, that feud between Jacob and Esau. All right, and his unsatiable desire, and his perpetual hatred, all right, to kill you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, to eliminate you and to usurp the blessing back, all right, has shaped the world that we know. And his desire to eliminate you Jakes is coming through the rollout of this AI. There's no more need for you Jakes when it comes to building up this infrastructure of America, Babylon the Great. They have AI for it. They have AI to think and to create for them now. So there's no more need for the majority of you people, which is why they plan on, unaliving the majority of people on the earth, so that they can have better control. But I just want to go into this video, just a little bit of this information, man. There's a lot more, going into the race between, Moab and Esau concerning this technology. Which we know that Moab is a partaker of Edom. Like it says in 2 Esdras, the 16th chapter. Moab and Esau have always been hand in hand when it comes to wickedness. But these are the things that, we're looking out for more earnestly now, because we understand that these are signs of the times. And this is a huge sign of the time. All right, the MOTB being rolled out is a huge sign of the times. All right, because after this is implemented, all right, the Lord is basically on his way. World War III is going to be issued. All right, World War III is going to commence, Salakia, and then the Lord is going to come in the midst of World War III and destroy these armies, all right, and establish his kingdom on the planet Earth. So the Lord is making a quick work, brothers, man. The Lord is making a quick work. Continue to fight, all right? Continue to keep your head high, all right? Continue to fight. Continue to keep your head high. Continue to fight the good fight of faith, man, because the Lord is closer than he's ever been. All right, shalom. Stay up.